So, why did I spin in? I have no idea. I'm probably just losing my goddamn mind. So, today we're talking about depravity. I'm sorry if you can hear the rain out, but I can't really stop it, and it's kind of like rain ASMR while you lose your will to live with me. So, glad we're hanging out. So, yesterday, I could have taken the day off, but as a very sane person, I decided, hey, let's go check the trash on Twitter. Now, Twitter is almost entirely trash, so what trash? Zoophiles. Now, along with pedophiles, I have a long-standing war with zoophiles. Now, a lot of the time, zoophiles and pedophiles kind of team up because they're outcasts, rightfully so, who want to be included in communities who don't want them. Essentially, the whole population of the world, except for zoophiles and pedophiles. There was a hashtag, it wasn't trending, but a lot of people were using it, and it was hashtag ZooPride. So at first, I thought it had to do with Joe Exotic, so I was like, people are proud of their zoos or some shit. That's great. No. The things I've had to see that I can't forget. So I want to go through the Zoo Pride posts, and as you can probably deduce from my more than usual deadpan want to die type tone, it's a hashtag that is for zoophiles to essentially hype themselves up and pretend that they're not disgusting. So to be noted, they use the term zoosexual, as some have used pedosexual to make it sound like it's part of the LGBT or like it's something that's generally acceptable, which it's not because it's a paraphilia. But anyway, it says zoosexuals are just like anyone else. The only difference is we have a deeper connection and love for other species. Some of us have non-human lovers, and that is a beautiful thing, not a tragedy. It's not beautiful, just putting that out there. It is a tragedy because you are abusing animals, but on top of that, the thing that makes you more assholey is that in making these claims of having a deeper connection, you come off as a pompous ass who's insinuating that anyone who isn't a zoophile doesn't have a deep connection with their animal, which is not true because you're abusing them, so you don't have a deeper connection. You're projecting, you probably have delusions of grandeur with this connection because you think your dog and you are sharing something magical, but in reality, you're abusing them. So it's no deeper connection, and also don't be pompous. Also, it's important to be noted the symbol that they're using in their name. I'm pretty sure that's what the zoophiles are using right now to understand that you're a zoophile without necessarily having to say it. So if you see a profile with that and they're retweeting a lot of animals, it's probably not because they enjoy cute animal videos. I'm sorry to ruin that for you because I've seen some of them share like animals and like wolves and shit, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool animal, and then I saw who posted it and I was like, oh, okay, so someone has a boner now. Case in point. What a beautiful boy. Yeah, you're trying to ruin animals, and I'm not about to allow you to do that. So then there's this one person who tried to make the big galaxy brain argument that if two adults display through body language that they want sex, is that not consent? If you say no, this makes every human that has had sex with someone who speaks a language they don't understand rape. And then this other person responded, only if the two adult humans can both understand each other. And then the zoophile said, so you're saying that you can understand another being through body language, right? This claim is by far, I think, one of the most outlandish ones because I'm having a stroke. The insinuation is that you can tell that your dog is consenting because adults can consent without literally having to say, do you wish to do so and so? And then that's the parallel you see. The difference is when humans consent non-verbally, I don't want to go into a detailed scenario here and make everyone along with myself uncomfortable. There are very clear things humans do to each other that insinuates, yes, I'm consenting. Like they can kiss back, they can do whatever, okay? A dog is not consenting because they lick your face. Like they are not looking at you in a sexual way. A human could look at another human in a sexual way. They do that, but a dog isn't. The scenario is so different that I'm having a hard time trying to explain why apples and oranges are different. The whole idea of a dog being able to consent is kind of the same thing that pedophiles say with children. If children can pick a flavor of an ice cream, they can decide to say yes, and that's just not the reality. And also, there's a small tiny detail that dogs, animals generally, cannot consent. They don't want to have sex with you. And then here we have the local hero. No matter how much hatred you target us with or how far you will go to silence us, we will never give up. We will never be silenced. We will never stop fighting for what's right. We are strong. We are proud. We are Zoo. Well, look at that. I cannot believe these people are still kicking after all the hatred they must get online, rightfully so. So, I mean, can we give them a little round of applause for still going after what's right? I don't think we have the same definition of right. Again, there also is a massive victim complex here, and this is the same with pedophiles who are like, woe is me, my life is so hard. As much as it must be hard to have an attraction to something that's societally not accepted, it's not right, and it's delusional to try and convince other people that it is right, because we're not gonna go for it. And most of the arguments here, like with pedophiles, is that, oh, I can't control it, whatever. And that may very well be the case, and that is why you go to therapy to learn to manage things. Do I think therapy really helps? Frankly, there are very few studies on zoophiles, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But in making this video, I was looking for studies. The only study I actually found was that there's a connection between zoophilia and psychosis that's been made. I'm not saying that everyone who's a zoophile is in a state of psychosis, but there was an argument being made about that. But aside from that, there's nothing. So, because I was looking into studies kind of trying to explain things more scientifically, shockingly, there was very little. I'm assuming it's because most people, unlike these deranged people from Twitter, don't like going around saying that they're zoophiles because they know that rightfully so, people are probably gonna say, well, fuck you then. This shit only gets weirder. I don't know how I keep finding myself in these things. So, there was a guy who actually claimed to be a doctor and had a PhD from Harvard, and he duped everyone into thinking he'd done studies on zoophilia, and they were all complete lies. This guy, this doctor, also duped Vice, and they had to put like an edit note at the top saying like, oh, we found out this guy's a fucking con artist. So there's this one article from Gizmodo, and it says, the fake sex doctor who conned the media into publicizing his bizarre research on suicide, butt fisting, and bestiality. So it says, IFL Science and MEL magazine featured Sendler, doctor in question. Sendler's study titled Similar Mechanisms of Traumatic Rectal Injuries in Patients Who Had Anal Sex with Animals to Those Who Were Butt Fisted by Human Sexual Partners. Both outlets called it the most not safe for work study of all time. In the paper titled Why People Who Have Sex with Animals Believe That It Is Their Sexual Orientation, a grounded theory study of online communities of zoophiles, Sendler found that zoophiles explain their attraction using a warped reading of genetics, debate if it is a true sexual orientation, discuss the legality and morality around having sex with animals, and compare animal love to human love. He's hoping that understanding how this community views itself will help clinicians treat zoophiles in the future. It's not an easy read at times, especially when zoophiles speak about how they know their animals want to consent to sex. My dog will always make a strange little bark, and it will always try to lick my feet or my head with a very slight lick and then lay on his back, continuing with that little bark until I respond, wrote one user who goes by the name N My Ass. Who knows? If I do respond, he will either jump on me and fuck me like crazy, or he will turn his back to me, wanting me to do the same to him. Jesus. The taboo nature of the topic extends to the academic world. Sendler has received pushback from other clinicians and researchers who call his subjects deviants, something he's constantly pushing back on. He told Vice he believes that his duty as a doctor to help people suffering from these illnesses because so few are. Obviously, all of this is bullshit and made up, as we now know. But this is kind of what he was trying to put into the world. The thing that I really want to focus on here, and the reason that I'm bringing this up, is because the zoophiles on Twitter, the zoosexuals, whatever the fuck, those people take articles like the ones that this wannabe doctor posted and use those as justifications. And I'm not saying specifically him, but as much as we can laugh and be like, oh, it's kind of funny that he did that, it is kind of funny, like the butt fisting thing, okay, sure. But also, it's a very big problem, because anytime people do this kind of duping, conning shit, there's always going to be a cost, and I do think the cost is bigger when it essentially allows communities to kind of justify what they're doing to themselves and to others and act act like there is science to back up what they're doing, aka being a zoophile. I found this pretty interesting because, like I said, there is very little scholarship, so I wonder how many people who are zoophiles or want to convince others that zoophilia is okay came across Sandler's work and were like, oh yeah, finally we have a reason to explain, you know, either why it should be okay according to them or why they can't control what they're doing. Let me know if you want me to actually cover Sandler, because he's written shit about necrophiliacs. Like all the stuff I talk about on my channel, he has made some crazy ass claims about, and it's pretty interesting as much as it's fucked up. Don't really want to get too much into the butt fisting one, so please don't recommend that, please, for the love of God. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.